Hello, good morning. Welcome to Saturday morning meditation. So, the first thing that we do whenever we sit down to meditate is establish our motivation. So, we will start by generating compassion for all sentient beings and making the wish that our meditation practice will benefit them. We can remember that just like us, whatever way we're suffering, we're not alone in that, and all sentient beings are also suffering, and we can commit to freeing all sentient beings from suffering out of compassion. And then we'll say the opening prayers. We're going to say the 7-line prayer 3 times. Organ yogi num jansam pemage sardom bola yatsen chogi ngorupne pemajung ne jesura Kordu kandro mangpokor kyatki jesu dak druki jinji lop cheer shake so guru pama city home. Organ yugi num jansam pemage sardom bola yatsen chogi ngodrupne pemajung ne jesurak Kordu kandro mangpokor kyatki jesu dak drupki jinji lop cheer shake so guru pama city home. Organ yugi num jansam pemage sardom bola yatsen chogi ngodrupne pemajung ne jesurak Kordu kandro mangpokor kyatki jesu dak drupki jinji lop cheer shake so guru pama city home. Right. So in this class, we will be practicing 3 different types of meditation to stabilize our minds and open our hearts. So the first type of meditation that we'll be doing today is called Shamatha meditation or calm abiding meditation. And this meditation is very good for settling the mind. So usually our minds are just running wild like monkeys, and they're really agitated and wound up and just spinning out of control. And so maybe we're thinking about things, maybe we're worrying about things we don't want to worry about, or we're having emotions come up that we're unhappy about. Our mind is just going all over the place, thinking about yesterday, thinking about tomorrow. And when we meditate, this helps settle the mind. So it's like letting, when water is all stirred up and muddy and you can't see through it. And then if you let the water just be still, the dust settles down to the bottom and you can see through the water. Then it clarifies the water. So meditation is the natural state of mind when the mind is relaxed, stable, and open. And this kind of meditation allows us to experience that state of mind. It allows us to relax the mind and stabilize the mind and open the mind. And this meditation creates space in the mind. And this space helps us to balance our emotions and gives us some time between whatever's happening in our life and our response to it or reaction to it. Maybe by having more space, we could respond thoughtfully instead of just reacting habitually. And allowing this the dust to settle. It allows us to see the natural clarity of our mind. Um, and this, and and then also we develop spaciousness in the mind, that spaciousness is the first step in the development of bodhicitta, which is the compassionate wish to free all sentient beings from suffering. And that's like very key. So this is an important practice because we really want to develop bodhicitta, and this is the foundation really of that. So this is a very simple practice. All we do is we rest our attention on the breath. And you can also do this meditation with your focus on a flower or a candle or an image of the Buddha. There's also ways to do this meditating on sound or physical sensations. But today we're going to be meditating on the breath. So take a comfortable seat. You can sit in a chair or cross-legged on the floor. And just settle put your hands in your lap, gently relaxed. Traditionally, we hold one hand and the other with the thumbs touching and place the hands so the thumbs are just below the navel. You can also just rest your hands on your thighs. And check in with your posture. Make sure your spine is straight, like a stack of coins. There are specific guidelines for meditation posture in Buddhism, but the most important thing is to have a straight back and relaxed body. Our eyes are going to be looking downwards. You can imagine a line following the bridge of your nose, extending down to the floor. And find a point along that line where it's comfortable to rest your gaze. And then place the tip of your tongue right behind your front teeth, like saying the letter L. And allow yourself to relax completely and breathe normally. Just settle into your natural rhythm of breathing. And then put a very light attention on your breath. Don't try to control it at all. Just breathe naturally with the most gossamer thin attention on your breath. It's like taking your pulse. You don't put any pressure on it. Just observe it. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. And as you meditate, thoughts will come up. That's okay. When thoughts come up, just let them go like bubbles popping on the surface of a pond. Don't even look to see what they are. Just let them pop. Let them go. Your meditation is not lost by hearing your thoughts, but by following them down the road. So when you find yourself following a thought, just drop it and return to the breath. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. I'll just start the timer. Okay, so that's our first round of meditation. We're going to try that again now for a little bit longer. So the Zen teacher Shunryo Suzuki Roshi, he says, when meditating, leave your front door and back door open. Let your thoughts come and go. Just don't serve them tea. So that's what we're going to do. Don't serve them tea. And if it's really difficult for you to let your thoughts come and go, if you're having trouble with dismissing your thoughts, you can imagine tongs picking up the thought and dropping it, or you can visualize cutting them with scissors and throwing them away. But you always return to that single-pointed concentration on your breath. So we're going to meditate for a few more minutes. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. Right. So this practice of mindfulness is so powerful because when you have uh, the skill of mindfulness, you can, just throughout your day, you can notice what you're paying attention to, and you can choose if you want to pay attention to something else. And that's so powerful. It means we can be thinking about ourselves and we can decide, I'm going to think about others in this moment, or whatever. I'm mad at my toddler for being difficult. Oh, I'm going to remember that he's 3 years old and have compassion for him. You can help yourself just by paying attention to what you're paying, what your mind's doing. Then you can choose, I'm going to put my attention back on Guru Rinpoche, or anything that you're wanting to practice, patience, generosity. So now what we're going to be practicing is Tonglen. So Tonglen is a practice called sending and receiving, or giving and receiving. And this is a practice to develop our loving kindness and compassion and to let go of self-cherishing. So usually we just think of ourselves, we cherish ourselves so much over, in our own happiness, and we tend to prioritize our own happiness over the happiness of others. And there's also another form of self-preference we have is that when we make mistakes, we tend to forgive ourselves more easily than we do others. We think, well, I had this reason for doing that. Like, I cut this person off in traffic because I'm having a bad day. But when someone else cuts us off in traffic, like, they're terrible, and we really judge them and hate them for it. So we really, that's because we elevate our own suffering above other people's sufferings. We think, well, my bad day is worse, maybe, or I've got a real excuse. We somehow kind of do this. With this practice, what we do is we imagine taking the suffering of others and taking it into ourselves, and then sending them our happiness. And over time, this trains us to gradually cease cherishing ourselves over others. And we develop a stronger wish to benefit other beings, eventually leading to the ability to help all beings with equanimity without any distinction between friends or enemies. And it's a very powerful practice. So we're going to remain sitting in our meditation posture. And we're going to begin by envisioning one or two beings for whom you easily feel compassion. Someone whose suffering particularly touches you. This could be your parents or a sibling, your spouse, your child, a friend, your dog or cat, anyone for whom you easily feel compassion. Thinking of this person, contemplate their misery and put yourself in their place, imagining what their experience must be like, and give rise to compassion. As you think of their suffering, cultivate in your heart the fervent wish to relieve them of their suffering and to secure their happiness. And then bring your attention to your breath. Follow the natural rhythm of your breath. And as you breathe in, visualize it as you inhale through your nose, you take in all of the causes and conditions of their suffering in the form of black smoke. So not just their poverty, but the underlying, karmic circumstances that led to that poverty or that anger or that experience, that whatever the underlying karmic causes and conditions are, the whole package of that suffering, we're relieving them of that. So as you breathe in, visualize that as you inhale through your nose, you take in all of the causes and conditions of their suffering in the form of black smoke, and imagine they become completely free of suffering. And then as you breathe out, visualize that you are sending and they are receiving all of your positive and loving qualities and all conceivable sources of enduring happiness as radiant, pure light, bringing them limitless joy. You might think as you breathe in, may you be free of suffering. And as you breathe out, may you be happy. So we're going to do that for a few minutes. Inhaling their suffering as black smoke. Exhaling radiant, pure light, bringing them limitless joy. All right, I'm going to repeat this again. This time, visualize one or two people for whom you feel intense anger or aversion. One or two people for whom you feel intense anger or aversion. These could be people you know or people on the news. Think of who this might be and contemplate their suffering. Put yourself in their shoes and give rise to compassion. And cultivate in your heart a fervent wish to relieve their suffering and secure their happiness.
It's amazing in here.
Hello. So then, bring your attention to your breath. And following the natural rhythm of your breath, visualize it as you inhale through your nose. You take in all of the causes and conditions of their suffering in the form of black smoke. And imagine that they become completely free of misery. As you breathe out, visualize that you are sending and they are receiving all of your positive and loving qualities and all conceivable sources of enduring happiness as radiant, pure light, bringing them limitless joy. So we'll do that for a couple minutes. And now we're going to expand that visualization to include all those for whom you have similar feelings of anger or aversion. So who else do you feel anger and aversion towards? Visualize them. Expand your visualization. And we'll do this again. Breathing in their suffering as black smoke, and breathing out happiness as radiant, pure light.
No.
Okay. And then as your meditation deepens and your heart opens, when you're doing this on your own and you've got time, you can gradually increase the scope of your visualization to include larger and larger groups of people, groups of beings, until your loving kindness and compassion embraces all beings throughout existence. All right, so lastly, we are going to do the light expansion prayer by Jetsunma Akan Lamo. This is a guided visualization. And this visualization works with our sense of separation. Jetsunma has taught that all of the pain and trauma that we have experienced is because of the illusion of separation. So this helps dismantle that illusion, so we can embody our true nature. So sitting in our meditation posture still, let us become still. Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Again. Let us center deep within. Center deep within. Deep within to the presence of the Absolute. And there is radiance. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace the physical body. And all of the physical body is filled with the presence of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to fill our beings on all dimensions. And all that we are is filled with the radiance of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to fill everyone here. And everyone here on all dimensions is filled with the presence of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace this building. And all of this building is filled with the light of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace this nation. And the government of this nation is filled with the radiance of the Absolute. And the people of this nation are one life. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace planet Earth. All nations and all governments are filled with the presence of the Absolute. And there is peace. And the 8 billion are one life, radiant. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to fill this galaxy. All planets, all stars, and all life forms are within the embrace of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace the universe. All dimensions and all kingdoms are filled with the presence of the Absolute. And in all the universe, there is only one life. Now, now, as we return our consciousness back to physical form, we continue to embrace all that is and to know union, that we are one. Okay. So those are our meditations for today. And at the end of our class, we always say a dedication prayer, dedication prayers. So we will say those now. Throughout my many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue I have accomplished, including the merit generated by this practice, and all that I will ever attain, this I offer for the welfare of sentient beings. May sickness, war, famine, and suffering be decreased for every being, while their wisdom and compassion increase in this and every future life. May I clearly perceive all experiences to be as insubstantial as the dream fabric of the night, and instantly awaken to perceive the pure wisdom display in the arising of every phenomenon. May I quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas altogether, whatever kind of motivation you have, whatever kind of beneficial action, whatever kind of wishing prayers, whatever kind of omniscience, whatever kind of life accomplishment, whatever kind of benevolent power, and whatever kind of immense wisdom you have, similarly I, who have come in the same way to benefit beings, pray to attain these qualities. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms. Okay. Thank you so much for coming.